Alright, hey guys, this is Austin and Greg here. Greg is behind the camera, of course, but he is, oh well, anyways, last night we were tinkering around with a Samsung monitor, and we decided just to take it apart and see what it was like in there. We found some pretty cool things. Well, we didn't take a video of the taking and disassembling part itself, because we didn't think we were going to figure anything cool about it. We actually made it into a really sweet, kind of distorted looking laptop. You're going to like it. It is really great. So now we're going to show you the tools we made and like the parts that we have. So we'll take you to that.
Okay, so here's the tools that we used. Basically, just got your tape, Scotch tape, the thick stuff, your standard flathead screwdrivers, and one small crosshead. Okay, so you have the scissors. You need those because you actually have to cut a couple things. Flashlight for seeing into the small crevices, finding the screws, kind of difficult to see. You need a hammer and a crowbar. Helps take apart the frame and the metal parts because otherwise it's kind of a hassle. It takes way too long, longer than it should. And some foot wart disinfectant. This is actually necessary for later on in the process when we're making it into the laptop. It just helps to work with it all. Okay, and you're gonna need an Xbox controller because it does get pretty boring. Take a couple breaks, and of course you need a bayonet. This actually does help later in the process, and we'll just show you why.
Alright.
Okay.
So, here is the disassembled product of everything we've got.
Okay.
I'm going to go through and attempt to name everything off here. There is quite a lot of junk deciding for all this crap that you get. You have to take apart. You'll see. Alright. Right here we got a plastic frame that was on it. It snapped from the hammer, of course.
But it's not really necessary later on.
It's not a necessary piece of equipment.
It's you also got in this. There was a piece of paper. We don't quite know why.
It was in the screen area, but we just threw it in with the laptop. I mean, it kind of made it work. So
yeah, helps.
Yeah. Here's of course the back frame for all the components. For like the case for the components of the case for the components.
Yeah.
This, of course, is another piece that not really necessary. A frame for
just kind of we found a way to use it, I should say.
And this we actually have to take apart itself to make for the necessary plastic for it. It's probably one of the hardest processes. And then of course you've got some circuit boards, you got some metal to help electricity, and some little circuit shiz. I don't know what you would call it. Then, of course, you have the Samsung you would put on the front to act like it was an actual Samsung laptop.
Oh,
Believe it or not.
Brand spanking new. Look at that speed.
Yeah, I know. And then we got some assorted wires and more components. We actually had to snap the piece of the components apart to make it work, and believe it or not,
we didn't need that section. It took more power than.
So we just took it apart, and we used some parts for it and little cases, and
we actually used a utility knife. We didn't actually snap it. We used a utility knife. We carefully did that. We'll show you where to cut that.
Yeah, and then we have some screws. Of course, you only need about 4 of them, but
and
you
then
have
the
like
other
12.
part of the frame. I put the screws in the frame because it's just good holding place,
I guess. And this is the earlier we talked about the components. Well, this is the thing you put in it, like that, in such way. You put all the circuit boards in here, and here is like, we think this is plastic paper you put in for the screen itself.
I don't know. It was in the screen, so.
So here is the speakers. They're not very loud, as you can see, but we amped them up a little bit. And then we got the power source for the speakers. We have the lights for the laptop to make it light up. We have more pieces, more random pieces, and here is the screen, which really interests us how
It's just a big piece of plastic.
Like they just layers and layers of plastic they put together.
Nothing much.
Yeah, and here is the glassy texture you see and love.
And it's transparent. If you hold it up to a light, you can see right through it. It's kind of like an X-ray.
As you can see, I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's quite fantastic.
See right through it.
So, there is the pieces. We have the cords over here. Those aren't really necessary, the constants, put those in. Any middle-aged delinquent could do that. So now we were going to show you how to turn it into a laptop. It's going to be a very slow process, so we kind of cut it down a little bit to save some time, and we don't want to bore you to death. So, here we go.
Okay, so, assembly of the laptop. It's, right now, we're just getting the frame so it holds all the stuff. Take the big black back of it. Actually, this is where that attaches to. That's where your cords are gonna go when the laptop is done. There's gonna be like a little port there. And it's Samsung. Yay. Okay. So, the first thing that we need when we're doing this is the frame that holds the stuff, which holds more stuff. Alrighty. Sounds pretty confusing, but it's true. So, put that in, it just sets in where it's supposed to go. Pretty basic, simple step. Okay, now we use this part, and actually, we just kind of put it in there because we didn't really have a place to put it, like we didn't want to throw it away or anything. Just be sitting around for a couple years before we actually do throw it away. So we decided to put it in there. Just set it in there like that. Fits right inside the frame that holds the frame. And notice how we're not screwing any of this down to the frame itself. That's because it stays together pretty much self-sufficiently, and we only put the screws in at the end for just like the just-in-case thing. Okay, now we're going to use these pieces of plastic. Each one gets more and more see-throughable. You want to take the one that's most see-throughable, put it on top of the one that you can't see through at all, and then take the last one and put that on the bottom. As you can see through it a little bit. It's the last one, about medium. And we're just going to set that in there like that. Get them nice and neat. If you got the OCD thing, I don't. So just kind of like that. Okay, so now we need the circuit boards. This actually conducts electricity. So when we took it apart, there was very few wires. So, I don't know. So most of them were just set in there. They weren't even hooked up to the one that takes the power. So we figured out, put that one. If you gotta line it up, see this? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Put it on the fourth one, and down about an inch. I'd say that's about an inch. And then, okay, and then the next thing you need is this circuit board. This is one of the ones that we cut. Right there, that accidentally just broke off by accident, but there was no significance to that. It was just there to make it a perfect square. But if you look here closely, there's the C292 out and the 303 in. If you make a line just with a pencil, draw it from there to there, take a utility knife and cut straight across. It gets, I don't know, it stops every once in a while, and then you just get a little notch, but it's all good. And you just put that right there. Make dip be pointing towards this one, and I say that because anybody who's watching this is a dip shizzle. Okay, okay, and now you need the speakers. Okay, so Speakers are pretty much self-explanatory. And you put those right there. Ah, God, you gotta make sure the power's pointing out, of course. Put those right there. Doesn't matter which way they go in. And this inserts slowly into this, into the porthole. Big Daddy's coming to the station. Alright. Now, this one, just cut that side off. Doesn't matter really where you cut it, because you don't use any of that. But we cut it off to say power. Throw that there. Okay, you need these. And that doesn't matter where it goes. Okay, wires. Everybody loves the wires. Take this and plug it in there. Alright, doesn't matter if it falls out. Now you need the best part. This is what makes it light up. Alrighty. So now you take the screen, this see-through piece of plastic, punch it, do whatever. Just throw it down. Just throw it on them. Okay. Take this. Put it right there. And then you take this and you raise these together. Okay, and they go right there, and then put that there. And now we're going to show you the things that you need to finish this project.
And if you see any leftover stuff, we want you to take it to your parents' room, put it on their bed, and say it's a Chris from Santa, and they'll understand.
Yeah.
Alright.
Let's roll, man. Okay, you need this. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. That's perfect. That's how much you need. If you use more than that, you suck at life.
Alright, now we're going to show you the parts you need to make the laptop function. Alright, so right now we need one rubber band ball. This provides the electricity that goes through these.
Should be about a pound. Big rubber band ball. Makes a
good
big
bounce.
boom. Big boom. Okay.
Big boom. We probably just woke your mom up, but that's okay.
It's all good.
There in a good cylinder. Alright. And then we need a hairbrush. This would be a good thing because, again, electricity, law of physics, you know, all the good stuff. You just like that.
Yeah.
Alright. Now you need this. An unlit brand new candle. Make sure the label's really, the warning sign should not be on there. We don't want warnings.
Okay. Warnings are bad. Those are useless.
Put those right there. Now we need toe clippers for the power button. That's how you turn it on. Snip, snip, snip. Snip, 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 snip.
Power on, power off.
Power on, power off. Alright, and then you take this and you, right there. And now you need a banana, and make sure this peel is ripped off and the tip is ripped off. And then place this like that. Alright.
Make sure the peel's hanging off the side just a little bit.
And and now the final ingredient. Make a whole batch of macaroni, eat half the bowl, put some hot dogs in there, and take it and make sure it's sitting out for at least like 30 minutes. Take the bowl of macaroni. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take it and we're going to set it perfectly without spalling it. That's right, spalling it like that, okay?
Let's get some 3D coverage. Oh yeah.
Alright, and this is going to happen. Now we will show you the final process of what's going to happen.
Okay, now that you're done saying the magic words and spinning around in circles,
this is what you get!
A brand new laptop with a banana!
Now, as you can see, it automatically puts you to the best site on
Whoa!
YouTube. The Greg and Austin Show.
Yeah! Alrighty. Then that's how you make a laptop. Use the power cords. You can plug those in and lick them. They're really good. And this knife, this giant dagger, we never got to that. Alrighty. Use this
to take this and stab it into the computer as hard as you can for watching this video. Ah!